Many of you came here thinking or hoping or perhaps believing that I may start naming names. Well, that day will come, but it won't be today. The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, but the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you. These are individual cases. There are indeed other perpetrators involved. They will be revealed when that particular individual case is ready to be filed. They already know who they are. And I'm talking here about not just the cowardly but complicit bystanders. That is, those people that we know watched this behavior occur and did nothing. And I'm talking about the people that participated, encouraged it, egged it on. They know who they are. I call them the facilitators of foul play, willing participants in vile conduct. As we identify them, each will be part of this case as defendants. These defendants will not only include individuals, but will also include corporate entities who ultimately profited off of this culture and behavior. I'm looking at banks, pharmaceutical companies, hotels. We know that many of these individuals were paid cash. We know that many of these individuals involved, whether they were the ones being assaulted and abused or they're witnessing other people being assaulted and abused and then paid and threatened and told to leave. Typically paid 10 grand in cash and told to leave. And then threatened as they were leaving. So in addition to Sean Combs, you should know the defendants in these cases we're going to file will include anyone, of course, who engaged in the assault or exploitation, anyone who participated in such in any way, anyone who encouraged or facilitated this conduct, anyone who was in the room and watched it happen but made no effort to stop it, any venue or venue owner who was aware of what was going on but failed to stop it, any individual or entity who knew about the conduct and benefited from it but did nothing to report it or stop it, and any individual or entity who covered it up or helped cover it up. These people who know who they are should just come forward now. I would imagine, as we speak here, there are a myriad of people who are very nervous. You can't hide skeletons in the closet forever. I would expect there are many people out there right now who are desperately searching their memories as they delete their text and data. Now, although these are, in fact, individual cases, there is a common theme, an MO, if you will. Typically, the victim is lured into a situation where he or she is given a drink. Typically, that drink, reported by these victims, is apparently laced with something. Once that drink takes effect, the perpetrators perform all kinds of sexual acts on the victims, many times passing him or her around as other people watch and enjoy the show, and then leave the victim ashamed, confused, injured, and wondering what happened. When the victim reaches out, he or she is told not to say anything. Sometimes there are threats of physical violence or financial repercussions.
Hey guys, so Tony Busby, the attorney of Texas, has come forward and he has said that there are new 120 allegations, and he proceeds to say that they are going to be naming names of the people who are perpetrators in the assault cases against Diddy. He says that he's going to name anyone who profited or was complicit to any of the parties or who knew what was going on in the parties. This includes the people who profited off it or were beneficial in it in watching or attending the parties. He goes forward to say that this list will shock many people, as it will include not only individual people, but it will also include banks, pharmaceutical companies, among others, who helped in funding the parties or were attendees in the parties or profited off the parties. He also said that the victims were given a laced drink, which then after taking the drink were assaulted sexually. And after the parties, if they tried to bring or raise any issues, they were threatened or coerced into keeping quiet by being paid off. But he claims that others were even threatened to a point of them fearing for their lives. So yeah, we can't wait for the Diddy's list, and as the days go by, he urges the people who are complicit to these things to come forward before the list is released, because he says that this will be a shocker to many people, and he says that the perpetrators should come forward before the list is actually released, because he says that eventually they're going to release it. This is interesting, guys. The attorney has claimed that the victims were drugged using a laced drink, which then after the parties they were not allowed to come forward if anyone felt that like they were violated. It's also claimed that the victims were filmed and therefore they were threatened with their recordings being released if they came forward or if they went to the authorities. This is sick, guys, and we will see what happens with the perpetrators. as I think this is going to be a warning or a wake-up call for them to maybe come forward or want to stay clear of the allegations. Let's see how this unfolds, and we'll be here for the tea. Bye, guys.